You know that feeling when your heart's racing, your palms are sweating, and your brain's screaming that everyone's judging you? That's anxiety. It's what Alan Watts called the separate self illusion, and this illusion is ruining your life. In this video, Jung and Watts will show you how feeling self-conscious isn't something to get rid of, but something that can transform you. Watts noticed something weird about us humans. We think we're these isolated beings trapped inside our heads, looking out at a world that's separate from us. We're convinced there's a clear boundary between me in here and the world out there. This belief is so fundamental that you probably have never questioned it. But this separation is completely made up. It's a story that your brain tells you, and you've believed it for so long that it feels real. When anxiety spikes in social situations, it's because you perceive a threat to this fictional self. Your brain fires warnings. They'll judge me. They'll see I don't belong. But Watts points out this boundary doesn't actually exist. It's all happening in one unified field of consciousness. You're not separate from the room, the people, or the interaction. Your brain constantly calculates future risks. What if I say something stupid, or what if they reject me? This perpetual forecasting pulls you from the present moment, the only place where authentic connection actually happens. It's like trying to control the weather. You attempt to manage others' perceptions, which coincidentally only intensifies the anxiety. The more you try to control your social image, the more anxious you become. It's like trying to smooth out waves by slapping the water. The trap deepens when you try to fix your social anxiety. You create a good you attempting to repair a bad you, splitting yourself even further. Now you're anxious about being anxious, caught in a seemingly inescapable cycle. The conventional remedies, breathing exercises, positive affirmations, exposure therapy, sometimes provide temporary relief, but anxiety returns because these exercises only treat the symptoms rather than treating the core misunderstanding of who you are. What if social anxiety isn't something to overcome, but a signal pointing to this fundamental misconception? What if that exposed feeling in social situations actually reveals the truth that you aren't this separate, lonely person? Watts' teachings transformed my understanding. When you stop trying to control social anxiety and instead recognize there's no separate self to protect, the anxiety begins to transform into confidence instead. This isn't mystical, it's practical. When you stop identifying as a separate thing, needing to perform well and gain approval, anxiety has nowhere to land. There's no isolated you for it to protect. If the other person is also you, then who is judging you and who is being judged? Try this practical exercise. When anxiety rises in social gatherings, don't fight it. Instead, ask yourself, who exactly is feeling anxious right now? Search for this separate self that apparently needs protection. Can you actually find it? When you stop believing you're separate from others, social interactions transform from threats into expressions of the same consciousness you are. You don't need to impress people who are expressions of what you are. That would be like your left hand trying to impress your right hand. And Jung takes this even further. He states that you've spent years crafting the perfect social mask. You called this your persona, but that mask is suffocating you. You smile when you want to scream, you nod when you want to argue, and you laugh at jokes that aren't funny. All because you're terrified of what happens if people see the real you. Jung realized that you are rejecting parts of yourself that don't fit your ideal image. You decide certain aspects of your personality are unacceptable, your anger, jealousy, neediness, addiction, and you push them down pretending they don't exist. But what happens to these hidden pieces of yourself? Because they don't disappear. They form what Jung called your shadow. It's like an overstuffed attic where you've hidden everything you don't want others to see, and as this attic fills up, your social anxiety intensifies. For a moment, I want you to think about that colleague who seems so put together at work. They're always saying the right thing, wearing the perfect outfit, getting praise from the boss. But in team social events, they're visibly uncomfortable, making excuses to leave early. The pristine persona has become a prison, and the parts they've disowned are now banging on the door. That annoying voice in your head saying that you're not good enough, it's the tension between your man-made persona and the castaway shadow. It's like you're fighting yourself during every conversation, which is no wonder why you feel so drained. You're managing an internal civil war while trying to make small talk. The things that bother you most about other people are often parts of yourself that you've tried to hide. When someone's behavior triggers intense anxiety, they're showing you your shadow. That confident coworker who makes you uncomfortable, he's expressing what you've buried. That needy friend who annoys you, well, she's displaying the vulnerability that you refuse to acknowledge. Jung found that people who appear perfect on the outside often experience the most social anxiety. The more pristine your social image, the more terrified you are of anyone seeing behind it. You've created a reputation so far from your true self that you live in constant fear of exposure. What would happen if instead of perfection, you started accepting the parts that you've been hiding? What if you turned around and faced your shadow? What if you stopped trying to be whatever version of yourself you think others want? Jung's powerful insight changed everything. Freedom from social anxiety comes not from perfecting your social performance, but from integrating your shadow, bringing your full self to every interaction. When you accept all your parts, they stop controlling you from the shadows. This integration isn't a quick fix. Shadow work means journaling about hidden parts, analyzing dreams, and having honest conversations with trusted friends about aspects you're ashamed of. It means noticing strong negative reactions to others and asking, what part of myself am I seeing in them? This process isn't about fixing yourself, it's about becoming whole. Combined with Watts' perspective on the illusion of separation, it offers a revolutionary approach to social anxiety. Watts showed there's no separate self to protect, while Jung reveals that even the self we have contains different personalities that we've been hiding. Because the truth is, people don't connect with your perfect mask, they connect with your humanity, including all the parts you've been hiding in the shadows. Your social anxiety isn't weakness, it's a doorway showing you who you really are beyond all your masks and the lies you tell yourself about being separate. Jung nailed it when he said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Your anxiety reveals what you've buried beneath consciousness. Stop trying to kill your anxiety and use it as a map to your authentic self. This creates genuine connection. Now, if you learned something from this video and want to show a little appreciation, hit the subscribe button. Let's connect together and learn to be a better version of ourselves.